Movie Sucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Movie Sucktastic or want to become a part of Movie Sucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Movie Sucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Movie Sucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
You're listening to Movie Sucktastic.
You can all go fuck yourselves.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
Yeah!
Yeah, haven't done that opening in a while.
I want to say right now, thank you for listening to Movie Sucktastic, that I don't listen to our show often after we record it because, you know, I'm here. But sometime I want to go back and just see if I can tell which episodes I'm influenced by substances and which episodes I'm sober.
You can absolutely tell, but I know because I'm the co-host and I don't drink during the show ever. But you can absolutely tell. The only issue is if you don't mention it during the beginning or show the camera, you could, or if you're just listening to the audio, not watching a video, you can tell by about halfway through the show.
because that's when it kicks in. But since we're doing 2 episodes a night now for the Oscars, it's already hit by the time we're at episode 2. So buckle up.
Buckle up, baby.
Welcome to the Oscars episodes of Movie Sucktastic. What episode is this, Joey?
This is episode 263.
And since I called him Joey, I must be Scott.
You must be. We're reviewing Guillermo del Toro's
Guillermo.
Guillermo.
Yeah,
you got to roll those L's.
Rolls in the back of your mouth. Guillermo. Del Toro. Guillermo. Almost. Don't roll it, but get close to it. Guillermo del Toro.
Okay. Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water.
I love pronouncing his name.
The Shape of Water.
That's the closest I get to being ethnic. Guillermo.
I mean, I've been a fan of Guillermo del Toro since Kronos, I think.
Kronos and Mimic.
Mimic as well.
Now, Mimic, not a good film, but great elements.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he's being recognized now, because he's done that over and over through his career. And I remember, what was the film you gave me? Shit. It was one with the World War II, Spain.
And that would be the Devil's Backbone.
That's right. You gave me a Laserdisc copy on VHS way back when that came out.
Uh-huh.
And I still thank you to this day for that.
Fucking awesome movie.
Oh, yeah. One of my absolute favorites. And then also he did another Spanish film, Pan's Labyrinth. Also a great film.
I still have not seen it.
Wow. That's a good one. You should check it out. You should definitely check that one out.
I just never get around to it. And you know what? I hit certain points where I'm not in the mood for fantasy shit. Without, just to be honest,
I've been there.
And let me say, this has been one of those times. So I was not in the mood to see Shape of Water. I was not feeling it. I was not into it. I did it for the show.
Right.
My reaction.
Well, one of the
may
reasons
surprise you.
one of the reasons why we did review
May
this
not.
film. One of the reasons why we did review this film was because it's been nominated for so many Oscars. 13.
I thought it was 14.
13.
I thought it was 14.
I read 13.
No, it's 13. It's 13. I'm not arguing by saying I thought it was 14.
Oh. Okay.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Whatever. Yeah.
No, I'm looking at it right here. It says 13 nominations, but I thought it was 14.
A lot of those are technical, though. You have
Well,
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
visual effects and sound
Fish
and
Man.
editing. No makeup. I don't understand how it's not nominated for makeup.
Because
We
it's not
talked about
makeup,
that.
it's special
Dude,
effects.
it's the dude is living in a latex suit. That shit doesn't
That's
come out of
special
thin
effects.
air. It is
not
not.
makeup. Makeup is beep, 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 beep. It's not.
No. Makeup is
a
prosthetics.
difference.
Makeup is prosthetics.
No, that's special effects makeup.
There isn't a category for that. This is the category.
No. Makeup is not special effects makeup. Makeup is makeup. Makeup is
Dude, this
Victorian era.
fuck that. It all falls under this category. Makeup
No.
is any of this.
no. That's visual effects.
Stop arguing. You're
I'm
not
just telling you.
correct. You're not
It
right.
is that. It is. Otherwise, it would have been nominated for that.
It was completely snubbed.
Anyway,
So
as you probably have guessed, we're reviewing
The Shape
the
of
Oscar
Water.
Best Picture Oscar-nominated film, The Shape of Water.
Yeah. Yas,
can I-
as the kids say.
Yeah.
I
Now,
hate
can
that
I just say
fucking term.
right now,
Anyway.
before we start, the
Yes.
title of the film, The Shape of Water,
Mm-hmm.
fucking beautiful, because it ties into the film. It ties in even to the narration at the end of the film, but not once is the title repeated in the fucking film.
Oh, at all. You don't hear it once.
That alone is fucking awesome. And the fact that it's in the end even managed to explain the metaphor of the shape of water without explaining it. Fucking love it. Love it. Now,
Now, I thought this took place in the 60s. I didn't, but the synopsis says it takes place in the 50s, which 60s, 50s kind of looks the same.
I wasn't going to correct you last episode. I let you go.
You should have.
Nah, because I didn't have an exact date, but I got a 50s feel for it, definitely. Now,
Well,
All right,
you know, because they at one point in the film they say you want to put a man on the moon, and I know that was like fully streamlined in the 60s. Like that was like the
But-
60s all over it. So that's why I kind of thought,
want to, not have, want to.
well, we didn't put a man on the moon till 69.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. So they're leading up to it. When did they launch the dog? When
That was-
did they
that-
launch the dog into space?
That was the late 50s. So
And they mentioned that in the film. So
They
this is
did.
the late 50s. It's in the border of 60s, but it's still 50s feel.
yeah, so that's why I thought,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this might be an early 60s movie. That's why I went that way.
It's late 50s, pre-hippie.
Because they're watching a lot of TV, and TV was
Right.
around in the 50s, but I don't know. It just,
But we're definitely still in like the whole Red Scare territory. So we're talking late 50s.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not
All right,
arguing that it doesn't look like a 50s film. It does.
It looks so much like a 50s film.
It does. I
Yeah,
mean, just
okay.
look at the cars. They, whenever you have a budget
Now-
where you can get authentic cars, that's impressive in itself because
All right.
it's not cheap.
There's so much to talk about this film, and we're not going to spend a lot of time.
No, 45 minutes.
Where do you want to start? Yeah, where do you want to start?
Where do I want to start? Do you want to start with Michael Shannon?
Let's start. All right, let's start with the basic premise of the film.
Okay.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you know the basic premise. A mute girl falls in love with a fish man,
Yeah.
and they fuck.
And she's gonna fuck that fish.
Yeah. This is like Superman. You will believe a woman can fuck a fish. It happens. That's all anybody's talking about. It's confirmed. She fucks the fish. Let's move on.
Totally fucks the fish.
Oh, by the way, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Now, I personally don't think this is the kind of film that deserves a spoiler alert because it's also fucking obvious.
Right.
But
okay.
If you haven't seen the film yet, you might want to see it before you listen to us babble about it for an hour. Duh.
It's right in if you go to our website, it's right there. Spoiler alert. Duh.
But just so nobody gets pissed off, yeah, we're going to spoil things about the film. But this is the film, and we try not to when there's certain things. Like there's going to be more of a direct hard line.
We're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you. We're not going to give this a spoiler away for, say, Fight Club. It's never going to happen.
Right. Well, yeah, we are, because the film's, 20 years old now? Fuck it. I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, shut up.
No. Listen, my argument always with that is there's always somebody that is just starting to get into film.
All right.
They might be... Dude, they could be watching fucking...
But we will give the warning. We will give the official warning.
We always give the warning.
Yes. Trigger alert. We're going to ruin this film.
Trigger alert.
All right.
That is the new snowflake term.
Trigger alert. We're going to ruin this fucking film. My first argument against the film, but it's not really against the film. All right. Bear with me. Real quick. This film is a adult fairy tale. If you go into this film and 10 minutes in, you don't know how it's going to end, you're an idiot.
It says it right. If you, as a matter of fact, one of the slides that are going in the background shows I think it's a visual companion to the film, and it says a fairy tale right on that.
Right. It is. Now, and that's what saves the film on a lot of levels. And I won't get into it now because that's something that briefly go into one of my fucking tirades later.
Really?
Tyrants?
No, it's tirade.
Tirades. I like tyrants.
Well, you could be a tyrant, but I don't think you could be a tyrant.
I don't think you can go on a.
I don't know if you could go on a tyrant.
It's a tirade, but there's more rant involved than raid, so it's a tyrant.
Then you're going on a rant.
All right. Well, anyway.
What are you drinking tonight?
New Amsterdam gin.
Ooh. Straight up.
It's bottom shelf, but what I like about it is that it's not botanical. It's more citrus.
I got you.
And it's a cheap it's a cheap gin, and gin keeps a man mean. So
yeah. Oh yeah. You drinking it straight up?
What do you think I'm doing? Yeah.
I'm asking if you're drinking it straight up. Or as my son says...
I actually bought a bottle of tonic. I was like, let me try a gin and tonic. And I tried it. It's like, oh, the tonic ruins the fucking gin.
Or as my son says, duh.
Duh.
That's what he did. Duh.
The smart kid.
I'm like, don't do that.
Anyway, so yeah, the film takes place in the 50s, and it's about a mute cleaning woman at a government facility, or a private facility that caters to the government. And the whole film, I'll get into that later. So yeah, and she has a black friend, and they clean the place, and she falls in love with a fish creature that they are holding at this facility. And then,
well, first she feels sorry for it, and she slowly builds this kinship.
I don't think there's any. I disagree with you on that. I don't think she feels sorry for it. I think from the first moment she sees it, she's enamored.
Well, I think so.
She's wild.
And I'm not disagreeing with that, but I think there's empathy there because he's trapped.
Yeah.
You know, he's trapped, and they're doing these tests on him, and they're torturing him. So
no argument.
There's definitely that going on. So she starts to visit him and befriend him. And then that's what ends up. She realizes that he's happy to see her, and she's happy to see him, and then it kind of evolves into fish romance.
Now,
All right.
What
Let's
do you think
break
that
apart the
sounds
metaphor.
like? Do you think it sounds like? Think it sounds like that?
I'm not getting into that because I'm not going to be crude.
If I had a bucket of water here, I think that's what it would sound like.
I think you're being vulgar.
I know that's what it sounds like when Michael Shannon has
But
his sex scene.
Oh, that was definitely. Oh, yeah. You know, Tilla, let's back up. Let's start with the cinematography first. This
okay.
film, for lack of a better word, is fucking beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I get
it's gorgeous.
I get what's his face? The guy that directed Delicatessen. That kind of director. I get that kind of feel from it.
I was just gonna say here's my take on it. Take Tim Burton, right?
Okay.
Give him a background with an actual culture,
okay,
and give him some more talent, and he might come close to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, definitely.
The best I can describe this to someone who hasn't seen it, is that The Shape of Water is kind of like a 4-color, like Dick Tracy type comic strip, but take that and then put over that, use a filter of that kind of European decay.
Sure. I mean, it's got all this color, but it's also...
This film is equally vibrant
but
and
muted.
dark.
Yeah, it's like muted, but also vibrant. You're right. It definitely comes back as like that.
It is a strong European feel to it. For the younger audience, I guarantee half of them watching this are going to be flashbacking to BioShock, the video game. You got a lot of that kind of round figure, especially in the holding cell where they keep the fish monster.
Right.
There's a strong BioShock feel there. That the film does a lot of stuff with depth, with the long hallways, the circular tops. Everything is there's half circles. Everything is half circles, half moons. There's a definite stylistic. The shapes of the film, the apartments, they have those half moon windows. They're below a movie theater. The movie theater is kind of shaped like that. Everything about this film has that kind of like conical shape to it. When you're dealing with the main characters or the fish monster, whenever you're dealing with like Michael Shannon or the evil white men, everything's square
yeah,
and sterile.
Yep,
and
square and just blunt. You know,
and there's an ongoing, like the color scheme. There's an ongoing color scheme of like not blue, which American directors would choose, but more of like an aquamarine green, that kind of like almost mossy. And that's even reflected later with Michael Shannon's character when he buys his car. We won't talk about that yet. But the color schemes are very deliberate. The background, her wallpaper is has like a scaling to it. Everything is very deliberate in this film, and if you're paying attention, it just feeds into you.
Definitely.
Sorry.
No. How could I follow that up? I mean, you talked for 2 minutes straight.
I apologize.
And I'm not saying what you said wasn't brilliant, because it was. So,
well, I watched the film last night, and I said going into it, I didn't care about it. I was like, I know what's coming. I could tell you how the film began and ended before I saw it, and I'd be right. But the film is moving from a directorial. The best quote I saw, I was going through the IMDb shit, and there's a quote from Kevin Smith where he says, "Watching this film made me," like paraphrasing, it's like, it made me regret ever calling myself a director.
I did read that.
And, yeah, and all I could think of was, you should have felt that way when you watched Cop Out, you motherfucker. It's like, how can you, and I understand where he's coming from, and he's right, and it's a very humble statement. At the same time, I'm like, dude, how can you even like call yourself it's like I agree with him. At the same time, I'm angry at him for even like comparing himself to him, even though he's not. It's like, fucking just say it's brilliant and move on. You, god damn it.
He's got that self-loathing thing going, so
yeah, that self-deprecation is his fucking gimmick. He's got a book out now. It's like, oh yeah, how a fat loser tells you how to live your life. So, dude, just fucking stop it already, please. Anyway.
Now let me ask you this, because go ahead.
No, after you.
This has something to do with the film, but it also has something to do with Guillermo del Toro and Hellboy. I've been reading a few things about how people think that Hellboy, Abe Sapien, and this film are connected in some way.
All right. Guillermo del Toro has come out and said forthright, there is no fucking connection whatsoever between the two characters. The Shape of Water is a film that Guillermo del Toro has been working on since 2011. The Hellboy film was based on a comic book by somebody else's work.
Right.
So he's flat out said, no comparison. It's not meant to be linked. This is a separate film entirely. And everybody's like, yeah, but they're both fishmen, so there's got to be a connection. They're the parents. It's like, yeah, and that's what you deal with whenever you're dealing with fanboys. They can't let shit go. So, it's a decent argument, but at the same time, the director's telling you to go fuck yourself. Just do it.
They're the parents.
Yeah.
And although very feasible, and I would buy it if he said, yeah, that's what it is, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I buy it.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Half, Abe Sapien, half man, half fish.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad it's not connected, but I thought I'd bring it up.
Without belaboring the point, the direction and the set design and the cinematography is fucking mind-blowingly
right. This is nominated for cinematography, isn't it?
I'll confirm that right now.
I got it in front of me. I'll bring it up real quick.
No. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But I just want to look at what else it's nominated.
It's got 13 nominations. Of course it is.
Yeah. What else is it nominated against, though? It's Dunkirk, Mudbound. I'm surprised Mudbound. Shape of Water, Mudbound, Dunkirk, Darkest Hour, and Blade Runner. And I think Shape of Water gets it. I haven't seen Blade Runner yet. I'm sure Blade Runner is probably runner-up and maybe Dunkirk after that.
You know what? I mean, Guillermo is one of those directors where his genius would have been recognized a decade ago if there wasn't a bias against genre films.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it's there. And he has hit home with this film. This film has not become so... Here's the deal. Not only is the film beautiful, not only is it well written, and all right, let me say this: there are plenty of cliches in the film. All right, because it's a fairy tale. It's an adult fairy tale, like we said. And I think the opening scene of the film is jarringly perfect. All right. Spoiler alerts, if you haven't seen the film, you want to be surprised at the opening sequence, stop fucking listening. Opening sequence when the narrator's talking, it's her sleeping and everything in the apartment is floating in water, right. And then like everything settles down, and when she wakes up the water's gone, right?
Right.
So we're already implying that she is out of place in the world. Got that. We've already made a connection between her and the fish monster before we even met the fish monster. Got that.
Right.
We go through her daily routine, not morning because she works nights, but through her daily routine, one of her first things is to masturbate in a bathtub full of water.
Right.
Now, and my first thought when they show her half naked and then they show her masturbating briefly in the background, they do it tastefully, but I was like, first reaction is like, why do you fucking need this? But I know it's Guillermo del Toro, so I actually think. And what they're doing is they set up immediately, we know this is a fantasy, we know it's a fairy tale. By including nudity and masturbation in the opening sequence, we tell you this is an adult fairy tale. This is about adult sensibilities. And then it just moves on.
It does move on. But what it also does in the process is it also tells you that she is a person with needs and capable of
passion.
Sure.
She's not like a spinster because they show her naked and she's sexy, and then next thing you know she's dressed up in like these drab rags and like she looks like just like a fucking like a shapeless mass, and they do that on purpose to show that she's just being that's how society wants her to be. So you've got this whole idea of the hidden individual. They show she's not she's not how she perceives. She's passionate. She's emotional. She has interest. They show her like meeting with her neighbor and doing the dance thing. There's immediately they show you this person has a soul and a depth, and you're not seeing that in the real world because that's how society wants to see you, as just a shapeless figure doing your job. It's all there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's portrayed very well to the screen.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro, I'm so happy he's being recognized for this film.
Yeah, it's great. But what's great about it is like the film is filled with so many cliches, but that's what a fairy tale is. And this film has enough. This film has enough to make like your average Trump supporter just fucking choke on their own vomit. Your main bad guys.
They wouldn't even be able to understand this film, let alone choke on their own vomit.
Honestly, they shouldn't be watching it.
No.
Your main bad guys are both the American and Russian governments and any white males that are involved in power in them. Your main heroes are a mute laborer, a black woman, a Russian scientist, and a gay artist. The only thing you're missing is like Bernie Sanders as a young abortionist doing back alley abortions behind a movie theater.
So, how you feeling? You feeling any good?
And I guarantee that's in the director's cut.
Oh, okay. So, I'm looking forward to that.
The film is so fucking liberal biased, but it's a liberally biased film that's going to piss off anybody that's like right wing and doesn't want to say. But it's a fantasy. It's a fairy tale filmed on the backdrop. Again, like the fact that he uses a movie theater and they have like the film showing, especially like the one scene where she chases down the screen monster and there's that film in the background. Think of the 50s as the background screen, as the what do you call it? The what do they call it? The painted backdrops?
Oh, the matte paintings.
Thank you, matte paintings. Like think of the 50s as a matte painting for this fairy tale, and like the 50s was notoriously unkind to people that were different, be they communist / socialist, black, gay. The film makes a point of this, and the whole story is about somebody who is different, who finds someone else who appreciates them for their differences and not despite them. And that's the moral of the story. It's a fairy tale, but it's a fairy tale steeped in the dark realities that fucking are horrible.
You know, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Michael Shannon did not get nominated for this.
Dude.
He would be supporting, right? He wouldn't be actor. He'd be a supporting actor.
I'm watching this movie last night, and half an hour into it, I text Joey, Michael Shannon's the one creepy motherfucker.
It's like remove Woody Harrelson from being nominated and put Michael Shannon in. Or remove Christopher Plummer and insert Michael Shannon.
Holy shit. I mean, like I said, I have not really... Michael Shannon has only been on my radar for the past like 3 or 4 years. But man, what a fucking powerful, imposing character actor. And he fucking nails this role I've been a
fan of Michael Shannon for a long time. You mentioned it last week. But he is just that kooky, crazy, just eccentric.
Don't say kooky. Kookie's too fun. He's not fun.
Yeah, no, he just
creepy.
He stares into your soul when you see him on screen. It's what he does. He's been doing that since I saw him. The first time I ever saw him was in Boardwalk Empire. That's the first time I ever saw him in anything, and he's been doing it since. For me, anyway, he's been doing it since then. He's just one of those character actors that's just really fucking good at his job.
Yeah. She's fucking... He nails this role 110%. All right, spoiler alert again. When you eventually... First of all, the first scene that you actually see him giving dialogue, when he goes into the bathroom when the women are cleaning... And like he goes to the urinal, and then he's got both hands on his hips. It's yeah, alpha male, I'm pissing. Yeah, it's fucking man. And that whole speech about washing the hands, I was like, fucking.
The man washes his hands before and then after shows a sign of weakness.
No, Yeah, exactly. Before or after, never both.
Right. Shows a sign of weakness.
Motherfucker. And honestly, my favorite line from the film, I like one of those parts where I just laughed out loud. I actually laughed out loud 2 or 3 times. Of course, I was drinking bourbon at the time, so I don't know if that's something to do with it. But
dessert wine of hard liquor.
After that bathroom scene, they cut to them in the hallway cleaning, and Olivia, what's her name?
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah. She's like, short people are mean. It's like, you tell them, sister. Yeah. Fucking short people.
It's like I never met a nice short person or something along those lines.
Something along those lines.
But no, what does she say? She's never met a like caring
a short man who's like,
or it's like something along those lines. A short man
who was like nice nice by the end or halfway along, or something
right.
along that. Basically, she's like, short people suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, fucking yeah, I'm in there. His character development is, again, it's obvious, it's telegraphed. If you're paying attention, you know what's going to happen, you know what he's going to do, and you know how it's going to end. But he fucking delivers. He always
does.
When he, like the third act, when he breaks into like the black cleaning woman's home,
yeah,
and the husband gets up and he like turns around and is like, sit down, and he sits down. He's like, yeah, I'd sit the fuck down. Yeah, sit down, sit down. Just sit the fuck down.
And then he breaks off his own 2 fingers.
And dude, I called that when he was in the bathroom. I was like, he's gonna do it right now, isn't he? He's gonna do it right. And I was like, oh, it's happening. And that, I mean,
well, sure. When it's brought up, it's like, oh, maybe it's because your 2 fingers. Well, let's go back very briefly. The fish guy bites his 2 fingers off, and This is the 50s. It's not now, so the doctor still tried to sew them back on with the tendons and the nerve endings and all that. They still tried to do it.
They deliver.
And he's like, I don't know if it's going to take.
Exactly. Like, and the minute he says that, you're like, yeah, you're saying that for a reason. We're all smart people. You wouldn't put that dialogue in here. And again, Guillermo del Toro, he's a real filmmaker.
Right.
There is no such thing as wasted dialogue. Anything that's spoken or done is spoken or done for a reason. So when he says that, immediately, those fingers aren't going to last.
Well, I knew it. I just didn't know exactly how they were coming off, whether they were going to be bitten off again, or if it was going to be something else. But I knew they were coming off again.
Well, let's talk about another moment of perfection. Is the scene with him and the general, where he's like asking the generals, like, when does a man stop proving himself? And the general pretty much tells him he's a fucking piece of shit unless he does what his job's supposed to do.
Right, you got 36 hours to unfuck this mess, is basically what he was told.
That scene is fucking brilliant.
Oh, and sure. Just how he was telling him, how he was... Basically, by the end of that speech, he's like, you will be unborn.
That scene alone is a reason why this film should be up for best screenplay. And why it might win. Forget all the writing about with non-dialogue. The actual dialogue in that scene alone, fucking spot on. But then the next scene where he's in the bathroom, and at that point you're like,
he's talking to himself. Yeah,
he's gonna rip. Yeah, he's like, he's gonna rip him off right now. But even before that, when he goes in the car and he sniffs them, and like after his house, he's like, ooh. It's like, oh shit, they're coming off at some point.
Yeah, they're getting worse.
And then with the bathroom scene, I was like, oh, I actually braced myself. It's like, oh, they're coming off right now, aren't they? But no, not yet. They're not ripe yet.
The way they come off is so good too. So good. Just the way he's good delivering that speech, and then he just so good.
But again, take that as a metaphor about the corruption of the soul or morality, and it's all in there. This is a perfect adult fairy tale.
Yeah, I mean, before that, he was an asshole before that, but when his livelihood, his life, his character is brought into question, he goes full fucking crazy, full psycho.
But it's about what he bases his character on. He's not basing it on his family or his connections. He's basing it on his duty or what's expected of him, role.
Oh, well, absolutely. But
now this is a role. It's the same kind of a role or duty that the scientist eschews or rejects in the face of destroying something unique.
right.
And again, a Russian scientist is one of your heroes in this. It's going to piss off a lot of people on the right. And I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with it.
Even his acting, everybody in this film, the performance is fucking
That's
amazing.
Michael Stolberg, who we've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I mean, everything. He was in Boardwalk Empire with Michael Shannon. He was also
honestly,
in Men in Black 3, who I liked. He was in.
That's the one thing I always flash back to is Men in Black 3.
But you should also remember him in A Serious Man.
Yeah, oh no, definitely. But Men in Black 3 is the first thing I flash back to. I can't. You know what? I liked Men in Black. Men in Black 2 was such a drastic disappointment that Men in Black 3 I loved just because it fucking bounced back.
Well, it's because it wasn't Men in Black 2.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what I think of him. But yeah, also he was in Fargo season 3.
Oh, I haven't seen that season yet.
No.
I'm
The
still
ending is debatable,
I'm still
but
on season 2.
It's great. I have issues with the ending.
Oh, really?
But that's
okay.
it.
I'll get to it. We don't talk about that stuff on this show, but I'll talk to you about it when I see it.
But this film, I mean, again, I was not interested to see it because I knew what was going to happen. But even though I knew it was going to happen,
I was interested in seeing this, and I'm gonna have to watch it a second time because Mare wasn't quote unquote ready to watch it. So I'm like, I need to review this movie. I didn't even tell her that I watched it, and I'm reviewing it tonight. I'm just not gonna say I watched it. I'm just gonna watch it a second time, and I'm not gonna mind. I'm not gonna mind.
No, I've already told my wife and stepdaughter that you have to watch this film. You will like it, and I want to watch it with them.
Good. Is there anything else that they want to see that you'll watch with them for the show?
They'll watch Dunkirk because they like. Holly will watch Dunkirk because she likes war films.
Okay. It's a good one.
Other than that, I don't think there's anything else. We've already seen the 3 Billboards together, and we saw Get Out in the theater.
Cool. You're too in.
I don't think Darkest Hour is going to appeal to her because it's political, and I'm actually not interested myself.
The only reason I'm interested is because of Gary Oldman's performance. I think it's going to be through the fucking roof.
You know what? For Oscar nominees, I'm not making her watch anything with me, like I do sometimes with the bad films. Where you need to watch this with me, like fucking Snowpiercer. But after having seen The Shape of Water, I need to watch it again with them because I want to see their reactions. You know, it's just that kind of thing. It's a beautiful film.
And I made Mare. I watched the Room with Mare so that because I told her, I said, in my opinion, you have to watch The Room if you're going to watch The Disaster Artist. Oh, hi, Mare.
Oh, hi, Mare.
How did you like my movie, Mare? Oh, hi, Mark.
I can't wait to talk about that with you too. And
oh, hi, doggy.
I do recommend eventually reading the book because the book does tell a lot more than the movie
definitely does. Well, if it's on audiobook, that's realistically the only way I'm getting to read shit these days is because I sit in so much fucking traffic. I can blow through audiobooks like crazy.
It is not a sponsor of ours. It was at one point, but we never utilized it. But Audible through Amazon does have the audiobook of it.
Okay.
I read the whole thing. I did not listen to the audiobook, but I do have it, and it's available. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, even though we're not a sponsor, check out audible.com. I have a decent collection through them. It's not a bad site.
Unfortunately, about the only way I can read a book these days is if I listen to it in my car, because I'm literally stuck in my car for 2 hours a day.
I hate to say it, I wish I had a longer commute because I would like to listen to more books on tape. Well, if and when I finally move to Texas, that might happen. But we'll see.
It's the only way I can get through my commute is if I'm either listening to a book or if I can manage to listen to some good talk radio or podcast other than ours. So it's the only way. Otherwise, my commute is just fucking murder.
Now, I do want to give the Scott Wilson prop to the film, and again, I was drinking a little bit at the time, so that might have something to do with it. But I did get teary-eyed at one point during the film.
Really?
And it was the bathroom scene where the older gay artist is talking to the fish monster that he doesn't know can understand him. And he talked about, he's talking about, feeling like he's like born too early or too late. And I got a little misty.
That's Richard Jenkins, who is nominated for this film.
I don't know
if he deserves it, though. I've always loved him as an actor, but I don't know if No, I don't think he's ever been up for an Oscar. No,
he's other awards.
I don't think he ever has.
But he's one of those lifetime actors that really, even if he doesn't win it, just being nominated for an Oscar, he's long overdue.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know if his performance is Oscar worthy, like compared to the other ones. I don't know yet, but he gives a great performance, but he always gives a great performance. It's really hard to gauge that kind of thing.
Definitely.
Wait, hold on. Who's he up against? Supporting actor, right?
Willem Dafoe, Woody Harrelson, Christopher Plummer,
Harrelson, Sam Rockwell, and Christopher Plummer. He's not going to get this.
No, it's going to be between Sam Rockwell and Willem Dafoe, and everything I keep reading just keeps mentioning Sam Rockwell.
Again, I haven't seen Florida Project or All the Money in the World, but from what I have seen, I like Sam Rockwell for it.
I think it's interesting that Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell are both nominated for Best Supporting for the same movie.
That's how good the fucking movie is. Wait till you see it, dude.
Okay.
The movie's just fucking awesome.
Okay.
Do
we want to make that the movie we review next week with something else?
I don't know. Well, I figured out the pairing. Here's the pairing. Ready?
Okay.
Because we do 2 a week, and we do them at the same night.
Yeah,
so
we try and pair them.
And we're doing The Shape of Water by itself because that's how it worked out.
Well, because we always do a show talking about what actually gets nominated.
Right, since there were 9, it evens out.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. For the next 4 batches, obviously Dunkirk and Darkest Hour have to go together.
Of course.
And then obviously Lady Bird and Call Me By Your Name have to go together.
I agree with that too.
Right. That leaves us, I'm thinking, Get Out with
3 billboards?
3 billboards because they both at least partially deal with race relations.
Okay.
And then that leaves us with
Phantom Thread and The Post.
Right, which I don't think they have anything in common.
They have
but
nothing
fuck it.
in common.
They both have P's. They both start with the letter P. So,
if we weren't okay, let's say we didn't review Shape of Water tonight. Is there anything that we could even put with that? I don't think
honestly, no. The Post and the Phantom Thread kind of stand out on their own against everything else. There's no really common. Right. No, I would still go with that setup. There's the 2 odd mans. They're like the odd birds of everything. There's no other connection.
The only way I think Shape of Water would be in any way combined with another film, it might be Call Me By Your Name because they're both basically love stories. They have that love story element to it. Other than that, I don't think we could put Shape of Water with anything else. Yeah,
I'd rather put the 2 gay/lesbian films together, and leave Shape of Water by itself because it's the only fairy tale. And if you look at all the films, it's the only one not really based in reality.
Yeah.
Oh, now again, I can't really speak for Phantom Thread because I don't even know what the fucking film's about, but I got a feeling it's based in reality. I could be wrong. Now, but I spoke a lot about this film. I don't know how much more I have. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to all the bullshit I've been rambling?
I mean, nothing that we haven't actually already talked about. I mean, you mainly. I'll give you props for it. Covered a lot of it.
Can I say briefly?
Yeah.
The few instances of like, you know that one scene where they're sitting on the couch together, and they do like a little dance thing with their feet.
Yeah. They're watching it on TV and then they mimic it.
Right. That one little like 1 minute segment, more screen chemistry than in the entire fucking La La Land. Fuck that movie. Fuck it to hell.
Remember last year when they said it won Best Picture, but then it didn't?
Oh, I don't think anybody forgot that.
As a matter of fact, not only have they not forgotten about it, but there are new rules in place so that shit never happens again.
Oh, yeah.
Because basically how that happened, I don't know if you know how it happened. There are 2 cards. There are 2 cards for every nomination. So what happens is one card is pulled, and then there's another card that stays behind for some fucking reason. I don't even know. And the card that was brought up to be read was, one, it was read incorrectly. So when Emma, what's-her-face, the one that won Best Actress, Emma Stone, she says, I don't understand how they could make that mistake that they read La La Land, because I'm holding my Best Actress card when I won. Because they accidentally gave what's-her-face and what's-his-face the Best Actress card. So there are 2 old people on stage, probably couldn't read that well off the card. She saw La La Land and says, La La Land! When she was just reading the Best Actress winner for La La Land, which was Emma Stone.
I don't think anybody has forgotten that the Lily White Hollywood dance musical was called as Best Picture when the reality was like the gay black film. I don't think anybody forgot that. It's like, oh no, really? Yeah, you made that mistake? Yeah, no one forgot that shit. That's why they've changed the fucking rules and everything. It's like, yeah, no. It's just, holy, dude, the Oscars this year, they need Tommy Wiseau, because he's the only thing they have to make them forget about, like, Harvey Weinstein. Oh, by the way, the scene where Michael Shannon is like hitting on what's her name in The Office by itself.
Oh, right, Sally Hawkins.
Yeah, that whole like sexual harassment in the workplace thing. Harvey Weinstein would have fucking started crying if he saw that scene.
What?
That was
I bet it can make you squawk.
When that scene came up, I was like, yeah, Best Picture. Yeah. As far as like it's like social, political, topical shit, it's like, oh, I guarantee he didn't plan this. It just worked out that way.
Right.
But holy fucking shit, yeah. No, this is winning. Yeah. Ooh, I almost needed a shower after that scene. Yeah,
oh, and it was Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. Those were the 2 that fucked up.
It kind of gets me hot.
Gets me going.
Gets me going.
And that scene hammers that scene home because of how he fucks his wife earlier in the movie.
Oh yeah, well yeah. He's put his bloody hand over her mouth. You gotta be smiling. But again, like the parallel, they show her passionate in the water. It's almost mechanical and like violent and like.
But what's interesting about that scene when he's having sex with his wife, the kids are downstairs. He's getting his breakfast and.
No, they went to school.
Yeah. It's in the morning.
They were leaving for school.
She gave him a plate of food. They left for school. He's eating his breakfast, or he's about to, and she says, wash your hands and meet me upstairs. Right then and there, I knew that sex was happening.
Well, yeah, because you're married.
Listen, I'm not asked to wash my hands before sex, if that's what you're getting at.
I'm just saying, you understand the situation with kids. When they're straight out of the house, it's like, guess what? We're doing it.
But you're not wrong.
I know.
But anyway, so But the way I looked at that scene is, I don't know if it was done purposely, where he's starting to lose it a bit, and I think that's the way that scene is going, because she's very nonchalantly says, "Wash your hands and meet me upstairs," and she's just like ready to have sex. But he, like you said, is mechanical and cold, and he's like, put his hand over her mouth, "Don't make a sound, I want you not to talk." It makes me feel like that's not normally how he is with her, but that character is now going that way.
All right, we're going to take an extra 5 minutes now.
Okay.
Because you said this. Here, all right, follow me on this.
I'm following you.
The whole here's the point. Water is the major theme, obviously.
Obviously.
Duh.
Don't do that.
We start off with the female character masturbating in the bathtub.
Right.
Again, there's passion involved there. There's a need. There's a desire. There's a flame. What we see about Michael Shannon, we find him is cold and calculating, but there's a desire there, but it's untapped. His desire is in the workplace. He's trying to funnel it out. When he goes home, what does she say? Wash your hands, water, cleansing, right?
Right.
That links him to the mute girl. He's also met her and he's beguiled by her, and so there's a mixing of desires. It's like there's the cold mechanical nuclear family. The kids are gone. Now we have sex, as opposed to just like, now. But also, it's also methodical, because don't forget, the mute girl, she masturbates like every morning at the same time. So there's a similarity between these two characters. They both have passion. They both have desires. But for him, it's confused. The main point that drives that home is when he goes to look at cars, and the salesman points him to the car with the teal or greenish aquamarine type coloring.
Water.
Right.
Ocean
exactly.
water.
Now,
sure.
Here's the major point for that. Here's where I was thrown off a bit. During the whole Fishman heist sequence, when they drive the van, the fake laundry van into his car and rip off the front, immediately I'm thinking, teal paint. He'll find the teal paint on the van. That's how he'll track them. Guess what? Never fucking happened, Scott. Stop being a smartass.
No, I thought the same thing, though.
Right.
I thought the same thing, though.
Because we're thinking about, okay, we're setting up the points to lead everything. What we're forgetting is this isn't about, setting up how he tracks them down. We've already set that up with the phone call. Here, call me, and I'm tracking the Russian guy. This is all about him attempting to combine this passion with the commercial masculinity, or the nuclear family masculinity. So when these people try to save this fish man, these rejects from society that are embracing true love, and they smash into this commercial idealization of what he thinks is passion, hence the aquamarine teal color, which is the same color as like everything involving the fish monster. It destroys the part of that, and it mars his attempt to try to find this passion that they have, and it's corrupted like his fucking fingers. This corrupted version of love. It's all fucking in there. This film is fucking brilliant. There's layers, man.
Do you think this film, by the time we're done watching all of the best pictures, do you think this will be your I mean, it's hard to tell because you've only seen 2 of them or 3 of them. Do you think this would be your favorite, like the one you would want to win?
I'm telling you that this movie is a serious contender for Best Picture. I'm saying if it was just 5, this is still up there.
Oh, I agree with that. Absolutely.
That's how strong it is. And I will go. I guarantee this film is going to win at least either Best Actress or I think it's a hands down Best Actress.
Oh, Sally Hawkins, absolutely.
Yeah. And again, I haven't seen all the original screenplay films, but right now I'm calling a 50-50 between this and Billboards, and I think this one wins. As much as I love Billboards, I think this one's going to win because
what's interesting about what you're saying there is about a month ago, you didn't think Billboards was even going to be nominated.
I was doubtful.
And I told you that I thought it absolutely was going to be nominated.
Again, let me just restate. I was doubtful it would because it's more of a genre film. Because it's like a crime action drama. It's more of an art. Again, it's like a Coen Brothers film, and there's like a weird gray area there, and we'll go into more on that when we review that film.
Okay.
But that's why I was doubtful it would make it. I didn't think it didn't deserve it. I was doubtful it would make the cut because of that.
Got it. Okay.
It's such a good movie. It overcame that, and that's important.
All right.
And without the Coen Brothers behind it, as like kind of like it's a Coen Brothers film, so we have to nominate it.
Are we rating this? We always rate movies. We do the Oscar ones
shit.
too.
Yeah, let me do it, even though it would probably fuck up my internet since we seem to be doing a low stream today.
We can
give me 1 second. Listen, I'll get there.
Let me
get there.
We can do the score, and then you could just do it later. You could pretend.
No, I'm doing it live, man. I'm doing it live.
We don't have to, break down the fourth wall.
No, we're doing it live. They changed all right, rate this. Okay, right now it's a 7.9 on IMDb.
8 or 9. I'm comfortable with an 8 or 9.
All right.
Are you thinking 10? No, it can't be 10.
Give me an argument against 10.
Well, just the fact that it is cliched. There is a. It's basically what you mentioned earlier. How it is cliched in certain areas of the film. It doesn't. Not that it doesn't bring anything new to the table, but it's done so well in other areas. You're very forgiving of anything that is cliched.
All right, answer me this. I have one question for you.
Okay.
What if you could change anything in this film? What would you change?
See, I don't know if that I would change anything, even the cliches.
Exactly. I'm not saying 10 just because I don't want to just jump fucking ham bone into 10, but I feel very strongly this film deserves a 9.
Yeah, I said 8 or 9. I said I'd be fine with either one.
You okay with 9?
Absolutely okay with a 9. I wouldn't be okay with a 10. I just
making me sign the fuck in. Come on.
10 is kind of reserved for
hang on. Let me do that. I gotta do this through fucking Google Chrome because I'm switching over.
I think we gave Nightcrawler a 10.
Oh well, because that film was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a whole different. Yeah, but that wasn't a fairy tale. That was a fucking dark reality.
I think we gave Nocturnal Animals a 10.
Fuck yeah.
My favorite film of 2016. I know I said favorite film of 20... I actually have 2 corrections from last week's episode. I said my favorite film of 2017. Nocturnal came out in 2016. And I said Midnight... I'm pretty sure I said Midnight Express for the Michael Shannon film that I recommended to you. But it's called Midnight Special. Anyway. But yeah, Nocturnal Animals, my favorite film of 2016. Possibly my favorite film of the last couple of years, to be honest.
No, I think we were both on the same page with that. That film was fucking brilliant.
The fact that it wasn't nominated for Best Picture, still shocked. Right. But I know the whole thing, the black, white gold thing last year, it got snubbed. Honestly, it just couldn't. It just wasn't going to make the cut. There was a film that needed to not be nominated. There was a few. It just happened to be one of them.
This is why. It's films like Nocturnal Animals are why when people bring up like Forrest Gump, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I know.
It's just, it's just there's brilliance and then there's this is what you expect and I'm going to give it to you, and I have a big budget. There's
Nocturnal Animals any other year probably does get that nomination for Best Picture. I just feel like it was snubbed, not on purpose, but because they had a more important agenda about what should be nominated. I think that makes sense. All
right. Fucking IMDb is pissing me off now because I just gave us a 9 rating, and it won't let me go into the demographics. Where do you go for that now?
I can. Did they change that too?
They changed. Yeah. Hold on. If I click on review, no, it's reviews. You can't just click on that to see the fucking. No, they don't have it now.
It used to be under the score where it had how many people. Yeah. Like it's like 40,000, whatever. You just clicked on that. normally.
You know,
yeah, it's still there.
I hate when people bitch about when they change the fucking format, but god damn it, I can't find the fucking reviews, the like rating now.
So go to the home. Go.
I'm there.
Okay,
I'm there.
so
Shape of Water.
So there's 7.9. Underneath that is like 40,000 whatever people. Click.
No, there's not.
Click that. Mine has.
No,
that.
there's not. It's not there.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess I'm on a newer version than you. I'm on
it's
the
a website.
Fuck Scott version.
How could you be on a newer version? It's a website.
I don't know. I'm on the Fuck Scott version.
Anyway, I'll read the demos if you want.
That would be great. Fill me in.
Okay.
God
so this is all
IMDb.
this has all been redone. So you have all votes across 40,148 votes. It's a 7.9. You're 18 and under. There's 189 votes for an 8.5 rating.
Mm-hmm.
You're 18 to 29, 12,000 votes for an 8 rating. You're 30 to 44, 11,000 votes with a 7.8. And you're 45 plus, 4,000 votes, 7.8. Males under 18 gave it an 8.6.
Sensitive young lads.
Females under 18 gave it an 8.3. So it was actually higher rated with males under 18.
The women aren't 100% on the fish fucking yet.
Not yet. Males 18 to 29, 8.1. Females 18 to 29, 7.9. Males again, higher rating.
Women aren't 100% on the fish fucking.
Men,
guys are all
totally,
behind it. Guys
totally
are like, yeah, fuck
into the
fish.
fish fucking. I blame that on anime somehow.
Oh my god, yeah.
30 to 44, males and females, 30 to 44 gave it an exact score of 7.7. So the 30 to 44 range, both into the fish fucking. They both, or at least both feel the same way about it.
But they're dipping in because as they get older, so yeah, I'm okay with the fish fucking, but what's with this whole gay and black thing?
Here's an interesting one. 45 and up, males 7.7, females 8.0. 45 and up females into the fish fucking.
Yeah, because again, as they get older, fish fucking, the older men, more about the racism. Like, yeah. I'm okay with her fucking the fish, but I don't know about them fucking the fish, but I'm okay with them not serving the black people at the diner. So I don't know.
And IMDb staff, 22 IMDb staff has reviewed this film for an 8.5.
Of course they have, fucking hipsters.
They have this new category, top 1,000 voters.
That's been there.
Has it been there?
New.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We never talk
new.
about it then. It's more upfront and noticeable with this new format.
Yeah, because if you have time to like to rate that many films on IMDb, you're fucking probably don't have it. You know, seriously.
Well, and you know what? It makes sense because the top 1,000 voters gave it a 6.6.
Yeah. If you spend that much time voting for films on IMDb online, you obviously don't watch enough fucking films.
So those are the demographics.
Yeah. But I mean, this film's a must-see.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. And again, I'm going to have to watch it a second time, but my wife's only going to think I'm watching it for the first time.
I don't have to watch it a second time, but I want to.
Ooh, fuck.
That's how good it was.
We just hit...
Movie Sucktastic is a podcast about bad...
We just hit the 1 hour. See, I didn't think we would go an hour, but we did. So it looped. I told you it was going to happen.
It's my fault, and I apologize.
So, I think it's time to end the show.
Go for it.
All right.
Snap it.
Let's do it, baby. So this is episode 263 of Movie Sucktastic. As always, thank you for joining us. We can't do it without you. Well, we can, but we want to do it with you. We do. So please go to our website at moviesucktastic.com if it fucking works. And you can listen to our show there. You can download the show there. And you can participate live with us every week. Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. You go to iTunes, you can download the show or listen to it there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic, and you can see when we post, when we're going to go live. We can post trailers, and we post just entertainment news. It all goes on Facebook. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You can leave us email at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also download the free Android app for your phone, tablet, or any Android device. It's 100% free. Everything I said is in it, and it is the best way, in my opinion, to listen to the show. Plug that shit into your car, and now you got us on the go. Can't beat it. And that's it, Mr. Wilson. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Sure, people are just mean.
They're just mean. You gotta fuck that fish.
You gotta fuck that little fish.
You gotta fuck that little fish. Alright, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review 2 more Oscar films. Hope you join us. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
You see the fishy. Foxy, the woman fish, the foxy fishy. The little fishy. The fishy fishy.
Is that your Cousteau?
It's horrible. I can't do it. I can't do. Yeah, I can't do accents. I apologize.
Hey, I dug it. Just so you know. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. 8 more to go.
Yeah.